Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Zim's Beer Review. I'm your host, Garrett Zimmer. Thanks for tuning in, however you may be tuning in, whether you're following on YouTube live stream or if you are following wherever podcasts are found. Thank you for watching and downloading. Little bit of information I wanted to get out there first. I know in the recent episodes, I've wanted to try to incorporate the live video chat into the stream. I've been kind of messing around with it, and I've actually gotten a lot of issues with it. I seem to be dropping a lot of frames during the live stream, and it's getting really choppy video. I think it has something to do with my computer processing power, to be honest with you. I just don't have that great of a setup, and I think when I'm streaming, recording, and have my own stream open in order to watch the chat, I think it's just causing me problems. And I don't want to sacrifice the overall video quality and podcast quality for the chance of a comment here and there. So I'm going to put that on hold. Hopefully it will be back in the future. If I can upgrade some of my equipment, I would like to do that. I think it's something fun to do. Maybe I can open it up on my phone or something and get the chat that way. I'm not sure. But until further notice, we're postponing the live chat during the stream. So I apologize if anyone was excited about that, but I'm going to have to put it on hold. Anyways, to today's episode number 34. For those of you who only watch the video version of the podcast, you're probably wondering, why the heck did I jump from episode 32 to episode 34? Well, you missed episode 33 because it was an audio-only version. It was done on the Rode. It was done with the Rode microphone that you've probably heard me talk about here and there. So there's only a podcast version of that. There's not a video to go along with it. So I'm sorry it was not live streamed. But if you're interested in catching up with episode number 33, it was posted last week. Episode 33 was Golden Road Brewing's Mango Cart Wheat Ale. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. You can find it on anchor.fm, Apple Podcasts, literally anywhere podcasts are found, you can find it. So, yeah, we're back with episode number 34 today, and we have a battle of the beers. If you bothered reading the title or watching the video or looking on screen, you can see what beers we're battling today. I'm actually excited about this one. I didn't even consider this as an option when I'd done previous battle of the beers, but I think this battle of the beers is the reason I wanted to do the podcast. Not this specific battle, but the idea of two beers that are literal competition with each other beers, not just like similar styles, but these two beers are clearly in competition with each other. They clearly are trying to get the same market, the same person to buy it. And they're very similar. And so I wanted to put them head to head, side by side, view everything, color, taste, smell, and see what my favorite is. Because I've had both of these before, but there was such a large time frame in between trying them both that I don't even know which one's better. So that's what today is for. Today is episode number 34, Battle of the Beers, Hard Root Beer Edition. So we are doing the two mainstream hard root beers that are out there. The Coney Island Brewing Company's Hard Root Beer and the Small Town Brewery Not Your Father's Root Beer. You've probably heard of one or both of these. They are very similar. Like I said, they're in the same space. They're trying to get the same person to buy it. Alcohol by volume wise, the Not Your Father's Root Beer is 5.9%. The Coney Island 5.8%. Not a huge difference. Really similar there. Other than that, they're really just trying to be an alcoholic hard root beer. So we're going to go ahead and open these up, give them a try. I don't think neither one of these is a twist off. So we have to open it up with our bottle opener from Shaverwood, Jason. Also, side note, Jason, our buddy at Shaverwood, who makes our cool bottle opener, is getting married this weekend, and I will be going to the wedding. I'm actually a pretty big part of the wedding, if I do say so myself. But anyways, him and I are going to be recording a couple podcasts while I'm on the road. They will not be posted live, but I'm going to record a couple different episodes with him while I'm there visiting. And those will be posted on a regular schedule in the time slot of the normal review. So there could be 1, there could be 5. I don't know. It's just going to see how many we get to in the time that we have together. But yeah, look forward to doing a couple reviews with a guest and one of our good guests of the show. So yeah, that'll be fun. Anyways, opening up the Not Your Father's root beer, pouring it in, really dark in color, looks like root beer. I mean, it looks like soda going in, super carbonated, getting a lot of bubbles clinging to the side of the glass there. If you're looking, this looks like root beer. I mean, even as I pour it, I smell root beer in the room. That smells like A&W root beer almost. Okay, so I got to keep these straight so I don't mix them up. Not Your Father's root beer is on my left. Okay, now we're going to open up the Coney Island. Oh, this one's stuck. There we go. Coney Island. Pouring this one into the glass. What do we got? It literally looks identical. First thing I noticed, definitely more carbonation in this one. But it dies down pretty quickly. So I'm going to keep this one to the right of me so I can keep these straight. Hopefully I don't crisscross my glasses. Okay, if you're watching live stream on the video, you can see these look absolutely identical. Side by side, color-wise, I see no difference. This looks like root beer in the glass. Really deep brown color nearing black. Looks like Pepsi or Dr. Pepper or root beer in the glass. Go figure. Okay, we're going to go ahead and smell these now. So the Not Your Father's root beer really has a strong root beer flavor, or scent, I should say. It actually does not smell of alcohol at all. It smells very, very sweet. Okay, Coney Island. Slightly more subdued root beer scent, but it's still strong. Surprisingly, they do actually smell different. I'm trying to nail this down. I don't know if you've had Barq's root beer, but I want to say that the Not Your Father's smells like that, and the Coney Island smells almost sweeter, like a caramely scent to it almost, maybe like an A&W would be my guess. I act like I'm a root beer connoisseur. I have no idea. Okay, we're going to go ahead and try these. First one is Not Your Father's. It tastes like root beer. I mean, if you haven't had one of these before, I highly encourage you to go try it. They're very good hard alcohol, or not hard alcohol, hard root beers. And if you haven't had one of these, it's a really cool experience, really, because it tastes like root beer with a little bit of a bite. But honestly, not much. On the Not Your Father's root beer, that tastes like root beer. Very little alcohol, like honestly, maybe none. If you handed that to me blind, I don't think I would say, oh, this is the Not Your Father's. This has alcohol. I don't think so. Okay, the Coney Island. Coney Island is a little bit, it does taste like root beer, but it tastes a little bit different. I noticed something different about this one. It's like how do I explain how this is different? Maybe like, that's a good way to explain this. I feel like the Coney Island hard root beer tastes like you had a glass of root beer with ice melted, now you have watered down root beer. The Not Your Father's tastes literally like you just poured it out of a can or a fountain drink dispenser. Far more root beer flavor in the Not Your Father's. That's not to say the Coney Island is bad, because it's actually really good. Despite having that slightly watered down flavor, It's also a little more obvious that there's alcohol in this. And although that's 5.8 and 5.9%, it is actually less alcohol. I mean, not really noticeable in that regard, but I do taste it more. I notice it more in that one. In the Not Your Father's, I almost don't even know it's there. Like, I'd be stretching to know it that it was there. Man, I'm so surprised at the Not Your Father's root beer. I mean, right off the bat, I'm saying Not Your Father's root beer is clearly the better of the two hard root beers. I prefer it. It tastes more like root beer if that's what they're going for. It tastes a lot like root beer. The Coney Island tastes a lot like root beer with a little bit of alcohol in it. Which, I mean, to be fair, it's what it is. Something weird about it. Honestly, the Coney Island hard root beer, it tastes almost like it has rum in it. It's like a root beer with Captain Morgan. It's kind of the flavor I'm getting. Like, you just put a little drop in there. Just enough to get a little bit of a flavor. Not enough to bite. Not enough for you to notice, a hard alcohol. But it has that little bit of a scent when I'm drinking it. A slight taste of that spice, like the spiced rum. Slightly watered down flavor to the root beer. But the Not Your Father's is like a bold root beer flavor. Very carbonated. Burping over here. I prefer the Not Your Father's root beer, and I honestly don't think it's that close. I really prefer it. Now, the problem with these, if you haven't had them before, is unless you're a diabetic, do you ever sit down and drink a 6-pack of soda? I mean, that's just way too much soda to drink in one sitting. Now, maybe you're an alcoholic, like most of us on the weekends, and you just sit down and you drink a 6-pack of beer. Nobody thinks that's as weird as sitting down and drinking a 6-pack of soda, as odd as that is. And I think part of the reason that you don't do that with soda is because it's so dang sugary. It's like no one sits down and eats 6 Snickers bars. I mean, you drink one and you're surprised at how good it is. You're like, wow, that tasted like root beer. Really good flavor. I'm starting to feel a little bit of a buzz. Wow, that's crazy. I'm getting a little bit of a buzz off of a root beer. But you don't want to drink 5 more. I mean, it's too much sugar. It's too sweet to sit down and drink a full 6-pack. But for one, on like a summer afternoon or working outside or something, and you just want something cold, this would be a pretty darn good one. Now in that situation, maybe you just go with a normal root beer, or maybe you just go with a normal beer. I personally don't know if there's a really big market for a hard root beer. Like, I've never ordered a root beer or got a root beer at a restaurant and thought, man, I really wish this had alcohol. That'd just make it so much better. So I don't know if it's really necessary to have these, but they're both here. We have them both. The Not Your Father's root beer is the better of the two. In my opinion. These are my opinions. You'd have to try them for yourself to know for sure. I just feel like as far as a root beer flavor goes, the Not Your Father's did it much better. It's much more complete. It tastes much more like root beer. And the Coney Island has a lot more, I don't want to say there are flaws, but there's a lot more giveaways that it's not a pure root beer, that it has a little alcohol in it. It tastes a little watered down. There's just these other flavors floating around in there that you don't expect to get in a root beer, but the Not Your Father's taste like root beer. Like, I'm not convinced I didn't buy Barq's root beer. Let me check. Nope, I didn't. Okay, that's what I thought. I mean, that's how it tastes. It tastes that similar. Yeah, I think it wraps it up. Pretty easy. I mean, Not Your Father's root beer is clearly the better of the two. It's not that close in my mind. I far prefer this one. I know I say I never waste a beer. Even if I do a review and I don't love the beer, I always finish it because it's beer. You don't waste beer. Anyone can drink one beer, right? In this case, I'm not sure I can drink both of these. Not because of the flavor, but it's just so much dang sugar. It's just not super appetizing to me. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Sitting at home on it's a Tuesday night, but sitting at home on a Tuesday night, I don't personally reach for a root beer, let alone 2 of them. So, I might finish these glasses. I'm probably definitely going to finish the Not Your Father's. I don't think I'll finish the Coney Island, but here you go, everybody. The Battle of the Beers, Hard Root Beer Edition. Not Your Father's root beer. Not Your Father's root beer against the Coney Island Hard Root Beer. Not Your Father's root beer wins. I think it's kind of a blowout. This one wasn't close. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for downloading another episode. I know I've been a little bit off and on about uploading my videos and podcasts. I'm trying to do every Tuesday and Thursday, but hey, life gets in the way. Like I said, I will be going to Oregon, out of town this weekend. I'm going to try to still do my review on Thursday. I'm leaving Friday morning super early, so my review on Thursday may or may not happen depending on, life, family, whether or not I'm packed, stuff like that. So hopefully I'll be back with an episode Thursday. I should be. If not, I'll probably do one on the road. I'm going to be in Salt Lake City on Friday. Maybe I'll do one in the middle of the day and upload it for you guys at a local bar there. We'll see. I don't know. So anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I highly appreciate it. And until next time, happy drinking.